In 1982, an influential article called Broken Windows was published in The Atlantic, which posited that signs of neglect and criminal activity in the built environment invite further crime and disorder in a kind of negative feedback loop. But what makes some places feel safe and others unsafe? How can we design places which make people feel safer and deter crime? Crime prevention through environmental design is a theoretical approach to crime prevention that focuses on the relationship between the built environment and crime. It builds off the ideas of Jane Jacobs, who wrote in the 1960s about the importance of eyes on the street as a means of deterring crime. Others have drawn different conclusions from broken windows, such as Eric Kleinenberg, who questioned why no one had simply tried repairing the broken windows and fixing up the abandoned properties. What if, Kleinenberg asks, vacant properties received attention that, for decades, had been showered on petty crime? To gain more insight into the relationship between built environment and crime, we observed a portion of downtown Eugene. Our site runs along 11th Avenue and stretches between Olive Street in the east and Washington Street in the west. Our data points are spread along these streets, covering 8 blocks. The main phenomenon to study is the perception of safety. To study the perception of safety, we identified 3 main categories of architecture, environment, and crime, and from these, obtained the qualities of density, light, and natural surveillance. Each quality contains a set of indicators that are weighted based on their importance to the perception of safety. Pedestrian density is the number of people present at the time of data collection. A bonus is given for the presence of outdoor seating, since this encourages people to linger. Light is a combination of the measured lux level plus a qualitative measurement of the type of fixture producing the light. Natural surveillance contains visibility of the street, measured as a percentage of glazing on adjacent facades. The score is penalized for the presence of vandalism or security infrastructure, such as barbed wire, since this indicates low natural surveillance. Data was measured twice, once in the morning and once at dusk. This map shows pedestrian density at 10 a.m. However, due to the nature of our indicators and the prevalence of crime at night, we are most interested in what happens after the sun goes down. Here is the same quality, this time measured at dusk. Surprisingly, more people are around during the night than during the day. When we layer light data over this, one can detect a rough correlation between the 2 qualities. Natural surveillance paints a similar picture. With a few exceptions, people tend to gather around well-lit areas with relatively high levels of natural surveillance. Taken from police reports over a random week this fall, we found 3 instances of crime on our site. All of them were within 150 feet of each other. Two of them our data could have predicted. The liquor store on 11th and Lawrence scores low in all 3 qualities, which may be exacerbated by its typical clientele. The shop directly across the street, though scoring fairly high on all 3 indicators, may have fallen victim due to its proximity to a high crime location. To truly find correlations, we would need to take much more data over the course of months or even years. It is also important to note that our density data may be irregular due to COVID. Nevertheless, we believe our 3 qualities of density, light, and natural surveillance may help us better understand the relationship between crime and the built environment and answer the question, what if vacant properties receive the same attention that, for decades, had been showered on petty crime?